welcome back guys. I hope you're having a beautiful day today, and I hope you're ready for what we're going to read today. I'm never ready, but I know it's going to be a wonderful time, and I hope you guys enjoy. Am I the a-hole for kicking my mother-in-law out of my home and telling her that she needs to stop meddling in our marriage? I'm 25 female, married to my amazing husband 27 male, and we've been together for 3 years and married for 1. Everything's been great between us except for one glaring issue. My mother-in-law, 55 female, from the very beginning she's been overbearing. She has this habit of calling my husband every single day to check in. It started off as a mild annoyance but has since escalated to an unbearable level. She insists on knowing every detail about our life, from our finances to our weekend plans. She even gave my husband a key to her house just in case he ever needs to come home. Wow, okay. Recently it all came to a head when she showed up at our house unannounced while we were having a quiet dinner. She let herself in. We'd given her a spare key for emergencies. Big mistake. And immediately started picking everything apart. She criticized my cooking, saying it was no wonder that my husband looked so miserable with the garbage that I serve. What? I'd made butter chicken and homemade naan. She even inspected the house, pointing out imaginary dirt and telling me that she should teach me how to clean. Oh my god, no wonder you kicked them out. Then she made snide comments about our finances, implying that I was spending all of my husband's money on useless stuff and that I was a gold digger. She even suggested that my husband should consider getting our finances separated to protect himself. My husband and I make a relatively similar amount of money. Oh, the audacity. She went on to say that I was lucky to have landed her son and that I should be grateful that he didn't leave me for somebody more suitable. Is this real? She made it clear that she thought that I wasn't good enough for him, and even said that she had a nice girl from her church in mind who would make a better wife. I know the woman that my mother-in-law's talking about. My mother-in-law introduced me to her once, and she's everything that my mother-in-law wanted for my husband, including having a man provides and the woman stays home sort of mindset. I reached my breaking point, and I told her very bluntly that she needed to stop meddling in our marriage and that her constant interference was making things so difficult for us. She burst into tears, called me disrespectful, and then stormed out. Oh my god, said that you were being disrespectful. Now my husband is upset with me for hurting his mum's feelings and thinks that I overreacted. What are we reading? And also, that doesn't sound like an amazing husband. He didn't even bloody stand up for you. He's upset at you for hurting his mum's feelings. Are you joking, dude? What, you think it's okay for your mum to come into your house and say stuff like that to your wife and you not say anything, and also get upset at your wife for upsetting your mum? Nothing about that says amazing husband. Yeah, there's a comment here that says, oh girl, you have a husband issue. In one single visit, she comes in unannounced, trashing your cooking and your housekeeping skills and your financial situation, and urges him to go be with somebody else. Meanwhile, your husband does what? Sits there like the spineless jellyfish that he seems to be, and does nothing? How do you think she gets all the details of your life? He's telling her. You're delusional if you think your husband's amazing. He's a passive a-hole who sits by while his wife gets verbally pummeled by his precious mummy. I tell her she can have him and kick him the hell out. A man like that who can't defend his wife isn't even worth fighting over. Not the a-hole, but you need a reality check and to have a big long discussion with your husband. And the top comment says, info, why did you not toss her out immediately? And where was your amazing husband while she spewed this crap? And OP said, because I'm used to her at this point and I was just trying to rise above, and he was trying to keep our guests distracted. So there were other people at your house while this happened and he didn't sort it out. Obviously the mother-in-law is bloody awful, but it doesn't help if your husband isn't going to do anything, OP, and he's not even backing you up. You're his wife. Oh, that's so frustrating. Yeah, like this comment says, not the a-hole, OP. You don't have an amazing husband, you have a mama's boy. Good luck to you, because as long as you're with him, she's going to verbally abuse you and he's going to be mad that you won't just take it. I wonder if he'd be so quiet if your father marched into your house and insulted every single thing about him, and then you told him off for being upset? Somehow I doubt it. Edit, apparently you had visitors at this time, and wow, there's no apology or explanation that can ever excuse this behavior, or your husband's pathetic response. Yeah, that's so awful. Mother-in-law and husband are so bad, OP. But yeah, you're not the a-hole, OP. You should kick them both out. The next one's also on Am I the a-hole? Am I the a-hole for telling my husband's girl best friend that she can't host my baby shower? I, 22 female, and my husband, 23 male, got married young. I was 18, he was 19. Both of us knew that we always wanted to get married and start a family young. I started college 2 years ago, and he just graduated with a Bachelor of Biomedical Science. My husband has a girl best friend, 23 female, who I'll call Sam, who we met in college. Both of them grew up Baptist, and while he's left the church, they had a very similar similar childhood and they bonded quite fast. Despite what you may be thinking, her and I did actually get along really well. She and I liked the same music and we were both studying in relatively the same fields, so she became a friend of mine as well. Since I found out I was pregnant though, some issues have come up. We announced our pregnancy on social media after we told our parents. Sam texted my husband a congrats text and then told him to pass on her well wishes to me. She's been texting him non-stop with baby advice and what she likes to call advice for mama, which includes sometimes relatively targeted jabs at what I should eat. Honestly, I kept brushing the text off, but it got to a point where the conversations were less about the baby and more about me, which I was getting increasingly uncomfortable with because she wasn't texting me, she was texting my husband. My husband acknowledged this and just started to show them to me and asked what I want him to do. I just told him to ignore them. When I announced I was having a baby shower and I sent out the invites, I received a text from Sam. She said something along the lines of wanting to host my baby shower and set it up. I told her politely that my mum was planning on hosting it with the help of my sister and that it was a special moment for them and I wouldn't want to take it away. Well, Sam ignored that message because the next day she came over and insisted that we start working out arrangements for the venue. Wow, the audacity. I told her once again my mum and my sister were hosting it and she told me that she should take her advice and let her plan it because she'd ensured that the baby shower would be better if she planned it, particularly because she'd be working on the menu. Whether it was pregnancy hormones or just bottled up rage, I told her that the jab she'd been making at me behind my back about my diet during this pregnancy to my husband are really annoying and that she can't host this shower, and from now on her unsolicited advice was not appreciated, especially if she can't say it to my face. That night my husband's phone blew up with messages from Sam saying that he had no right to show her those messages, oh come on, and that they were just supposed to be health tips because Sam was studying nutritional science and only wanted to help her best friend and ensure a happy baby and life. Honestly, I don't know. I know she had somewhat good intentions and she has been a good friend to my husband and me, so am I the a-hole? No, you're not the a-hole, OP. The bit where Sam said, oh, he had no right to show you those messages. Like what, you want him to not tell his partner about what you're saying when you're supposed to be a friend? And also, why the hell are you texting OP's husband if you have advice for OP? Yeah, this comment, your husband had no right to show you those messages. I assume Sam isn't married. Healthy relationships don't have secrets. You're not the a-hole. He needs to cut her off. Yeah, Sam sounds like trouble. The top comment says, not the a-hole. Sam overstepped massively to the point where it's obvious that she has more than platonic feelings for your husband. If Sam were truly your friend, she would text you directly, listen to you, understand that advice doesn't have to be taken, not make this about her, not be upset when you get shown the advice that should be meant for you. It's clear that Sam doesn't understand that there needs to be boundaries in your friendship. You and your husband have to be firm about what those boundaries are. This can't be a you thing or a him thing. You both have to be united in this. And this comment too, not the a-hole, your instincts are right on this. If the two of you got along so well, why wasn't Sam texting you with all of her helpful advice? This woman sounds like she's trying to insert herself between you and your husband in a really nasty, manipulative sort of way. I think you need to have a serious discussion with your husband about boundaries. What did your husband say after his phone blew up? Yeah, and the comment under that, why would she text the husband about her and then say it wasn't meant for you to read? Yeah, that's a giant red flag, OP. I was about to say, why isn't your husband doing something about this, OP? But there's a comment here from OP that says, hello, husband here. I won't give out my name for privacy reasons, but I was able to convince my wife to allow me to come on here and post after reading all of your comments, which thank you for all the kind and not so kind words. My wife and I love each other very much, and for that reason we're deciding to go low contact on something that could possibly jeopardize her mental health. I do not want to put her under any undue stress, and Sam is not and will never be more important than my wife. I don't really know what else to say, but to let out a little secret, my wife's loving how kind and supportive you all have been, and call it pregnancy hormones, but she started tearing up a little. I'll say yes, I have read the comments about Sam and I. No, I haven't, won't, will never, would not dream of cheating on my wife. Husband soon to be dad out. Okay, cool, that's a good outcome. I'd probably be going no contact with Sam, not low contact, but still, yeah, I'm happy that you guys aren't going to put up with it, OP. And no, you're not the a-hole. Am I the a-hole for refusing to let my mother-in-law come over and sending her a receipt for our daughter's fridge? My husband and I have a 5-year-old daughter and I'm 6 months pregnant with a boy. We appreciate that our parenting style is very different from that of our parents. We decided to promote certain autonomous behaviors from a young age. Due to my own experience with an eating disorder caused by my upbringing, we prioritize autonomy in food for our daughter, and we plan to do the same for our son. To foster this, we set up a tiny semi-functional kitchen for our kids. It includes a small functional fridge, and my husband even rigged the sink with a weak pump. Our daughter keeps snacks in the fridge and in a tiny pantry. The snacks are ranging from bananas to individual chocolates. She has the freedom to take a portion of whatever she wants. When she wants to cook, make a fruit salad or muesli, etc., she can do so. Of course, she doesn't have access to dangerous items, but she helps us cook when she wants to. This method resulted in our daughter not going crazy at the prospect of candy or chips because she can decide when to have them. She also knows that once she eats her snacks for the week, that's it. So she has learnt to pace herself. Now to the actual story. My mother-in-law is in town for a while and we let her stay with us. I actually like her, but it has been a struggle at times because she does have very set ways. She's not a fan of the tiny kitchen. She thinks that we're going to make our daughter obese by allowing her to have snacks when she wants to. On the first night, she took away the muesli bar that my daughter was eating because dinner was at 6 p.m. At around 4 p.m. When we asked her to please give it back and not to interfere, she relented and that was that. Or so I thought. Last night, our babysitter got sick and we asked mother-in-law to watch our daughter. She agreed since it was only from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. and our daughter goes to bed at 7:30. We went out for dinner and when we got back, we found our daughter awake and crying. I went to soothe her and my husband went to talk to his mother. It turns out that mother-in-law had made baked fish with boiled potatoes for dinner. My daughter told her that she doesn't like fish because the smell makes her queasy. Mother-in-law insisted that she had to eat everything on her plate or she wouldn't be allowed to get up. Our daughter ate the potatoes and tried to eat the fish but gagged. Mother-in-law got furious, took the plate away and sent her to bed early. Our daughter got hungry and went to her kitchen to make some banana oats. Mother-in-law heard her, took the food away and threw it out, and then brought out the rest of the fish, insisting that she finish her dinner if she was so hungry. Our daughter started crying and while trying to eat, threw up at the table. Mother-in-law changed her and cleaned up, and that's when we came home. I was livid. I immediately told mother-in-law that her behavior was unacceptable and that she overstepped our boundaries. I made it clear that she would not be welcome to stay with us again if she couldn't respect our parenting choices. To make matters worse, I discovered the next morning that mother-in-law had unplugged our daughter's fridge and put it outside. It rained heavily overnight and the fridge was completely ruined. When I confronted mother-in-law, she brushed it off, saying that it was for our daughter's own good and that she didn't need a fridge. Edit, the fridge is not in her room. I decided to send her the receipt for the fridge to underline how serious we are about this. Mother-in-law thinks I'm overreacting and that I'm being disrespectful to her. As the grandmother, says the one who ruined their bloody property. Get out of here. My husband's on my side, but he feels caught in the middle. So am I the a-hole? Well, your mother-in-law thinks that you're being disrespectful? That's hilarious. Your mother-in-law's an a-hole, OP. Oh yeah, I'm allowed to be completely disrespectful in your house, but you need to respect me as a grandmother. No, they don't. Yeah, the top comment, why do some grandparents think they have the right to demand respect when they don't respect their adults' kids and their parenting choices? Respect is earned, not given. She lost any respect that you had for her when she damaged yours and your daughter's property. She's not the parent here. You and your husband are, not the a-hole. Edit to add, I make my daughters who are 8 and almost 10 snack boxes for when they're on breaks from school. Once that box is empty, there's no more. I've done this since they were 4 and 5. Yeah, and this comment, your mother-in-law's a horrible person. Period. I can't even wrap my brain around a grandparent spending an evening with a grandchild and not serving them their favorite things and having fun with them, and instead being an ogre. This whole thing was about inserting her antiquated parenting ideas onto your child. Keep her away from your children, not the a-hole. Yeah, like, do you want your grandchild to hate you? What the hell was that? And also this one, the way that you're raising your daughter is admirable and it seems to be working well for both you and her. You're absolutely not the a-hole. Mother-in-law should pay for the fridge and your husband needs to be the one to make that clear to her. It's not your responsibility to manage his mother. It's time for him to step up and protect his children from a person whose actions are damaging to their psyche and worldview. And OP said she is a very happy camper. Thank you. The next one is called, am I the a-hole for telling my aunt and family that they've lost access to my sister? A few days ago, I, 23 female, was supposed to pick up my little sister, 7 female, whom I have sole custody of, but my aunt, 32 female, overstepped me and said that she would pick her up and drop her off to me. She took 45 minutes to do so, although I live 10 minutes away, and it was only 5 minutes away from pickup. Fast forward to the next day, my little sister informs me that while she was with our aunt, she saw our estranged mother, who's only allowed to be seen during supervised visits with CPS only. I texted my aunt and asked her if it were true. She began telling me that there was no need for me to tell you because that's her mum, and she began attacking me verbally. She said that she isn't wrong for hiding it. She invalidated how I felt, and she disregarded how crucial it is for me to know these things. The rest of my family also began to text me. My grandma even took her side. I told them that they've lost access for not understanding the sacrifices that I've made for my sister, not understanding that I've committed the rest of my life to this, and not respecting my wishes. Am I the a-hole? No, I don't think so, OP. Like the top comment says, not the a-hole. Mum has court orders about her visitation. They all just helped her break those and could get in a lot of trouble. And OP said, thank you, that's what I told them. That I can get in trouble for their wrongdoing and so can they. Yeah, and also this comment, not the a-hole, and I'd call and report it to CPS. This is super sketchy. The next one's on the entitled people subreddit. Karma on cheating wife. My mum left my dad and I but took the other kids. She moved in with an old rich man. She dragged the divorce out thinking that she'd get a lot of money from my dad because we lived on an 120-acre farm. But in reality, my dad's parents owned everything except for a few head of cattle and an old combine. My mum was going after everything that my dad owned, everything my grandparents owned, and and everything my dad's siblings owned. I come from a very close-knit family. My mum felt entitled to everything that my entire family owned. Thankfully, we live, oh great, the word that I can't pronounce, live in a rural area, and we know everybody. The judge in the case owned the land on the other side of the fence from my dad's deer blind, and threw out a lot of the nonsense that my mum's city lawyer was trying to pull. One evening, my dad and I were having supper at the restaurant in town, and the bank president walked up to my dad and said, "You're approved right here, right now for a $20,000 loan to get rid of your wife. Payments made any way that you want." My dad had the fork halfway to his mouth and his eyes were wide. He just said, "Thank you." On Monday, he went to the bank and signed the paperwork and went to court with the settlement offer and was finally divorced after 15 months. My mum was not happy because her lawyer got most of it. My mum remarried the man that she left us for. They were together until his death in 2001. She held her second husband's funeral on the 24th anniversary of her wedding with her first husband. I just call that karma. Her second husband left her $1.2 million. He had her set up on a monthly allowance system that would have lasted her the rest of her life, but she got greedy and cashed it all in and blew all the money in 8 months. Wow, that is karma. Spent all the money in 8 months. The top comment said, "Did she come begging for money after spending her inheritance?" And OP said, "She's been trying to get back with my dad." Wow. OP said, "My dad's a big man and I'm just over 5 foot tall. The other day he asked me what I would do if he got back with my mum, and I told him I'd kick his ass and my sister would help, and he just laughed." And OP also said, "My dad's been married to his second wife for 24 years. He's so glad that my mum left." Wow, that's unbelievable. And also, I feel like that's enough for today. I'm so ready to read something wholesome. I'm not that good at anything. I just do enough to get by. Then you're good at getting by. Not a bad thing at all. I've never thought about it that way. I'll be happy about it for a while. Oh, that's so beautiful. And absolutely right. My toddler dropped my phone while she was FaceTiming my mum, started gasping, picked it back up and asked, "Grandma, are you okay?" It was the cutest, dumbest thing I've ever seen. Wow, that's so adorable. Grandma, you're so small. You fit right in my hands. That's so cute. And a beautiful place to leave today's episode. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful time today. And if you did, make sure you let me know down below in the comment section. And also subscribe if you want to. And the comment of the day today goes to Micha Mocha. And it's about that funny post about the guy who had the lantern. I don't think he's possessed. Rather, I think the lantern triggered the souls of his ancestors to come forward into a dream and tell him about his duty to watch over his home with his blessed lantern. It was fate. OP should buy him a fancy hat to complete the ceremony. That's such a funny comment. That was such a funny post as well. And not only was the post super funny, but your comments were super funny too, guys. I really enjoyed reading your comments on that episode. So yeah, thank you for the comments and thank you for the support. I'll see you in the next episode. Make sure you look after yourself and make sure you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day. And you know what I'm about to say because I say it every single day. Bye!